Set. 18.
In your face.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Throwing, Jones. Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, is he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Here's Ty Johnson, rookie 6-rounder from Maryland. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Ty Johnson, 77 yards, and the Broncos have taken the lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones, he's going to loft one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. O.J. Howard hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. So the points coming fast and furious in this opening quarter. Whoa.
Yeah, both defenses, they're looking pretty exploited right now with the way these offenses are attacking. They are a step behind, back on their heels, whatever cliche you want to use. Right now, they're trying to figure out how to slow them down. Now, I'm not sure they're going to be able to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Bell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
6-6, pull it high.
Jones throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers plant their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
That's a gain of 7.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 24-yard line.
We go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's bring it. Let's 57's right. Hey, defense, let's go. 57. Hustle.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now Jones. This one caught by Isabella. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
We got right coming. Watch out.
Here's Watson. That's going to be caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards that time to push him up. 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Mine's 50. Come on. Check 9. I can pull.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Ty Johnson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos have once again taken the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
That's it, baby.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 82 yards as his guys are able to regain the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Throwing on second down, Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because, you know, the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
First down to the 40-yard line.
On first and 10, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
At the 40-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On second down, it's Thompson. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Chris Thompson, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys have now moved out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Throwing on third and long. Jones. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play means operate from the red zone now on first down. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Carl Nassib there on the tackle.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Out there now, the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. On first down, Thompson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Brings up second and 8 at the 47.
Throwing on second and 8. Jones flushed out right. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Just work with me a second here because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets.
Hey, Haywood. Check Mike 57, Mike 57. Let's go. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Lee Griffin.
Now Jones to throw on third down. He's going to fire one deep. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
You ready?
They begin the drive with Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Watson looking downfield for Godwin. And this is going to be intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Jones now on 1st and 10. Caught here by Bell. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard's going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go ahead and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
On second down, it's Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
64, weak. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
54. Hey, Alpha. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. That's complete. It's Rawls.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Hey, one side.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find Isabella. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 40.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
A run by Bell on first down, going to go nowhere as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. Ken Lobo. That's right, baby. Hey. High 7. Go. Come on, the ball. Get it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Come on. Go. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Now.
Here's Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th down, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
50, check my 50. I got one.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's caught. Smith. And he's taken down inside the 30. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Faking the give. Now Watson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Chris Godwin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First down, Raiders.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play that time for the Raiders. 49 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. Open man is Howard, the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
He can run for, and he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Daniel Jones, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
It's going to be a
First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Watson. Steps away to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Watson now to throw. The open man is Smith. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Mike's 50, Mike's out.
Watson operating from the gun. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Let's go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Marcus Davenport make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Got it.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now Jones, a big spot for the rookie from Duke. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 2nd and 5. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
He's back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
41's coming. 41's the mark. Tackles.
Now Jones throwing on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Raiders.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a one-score game. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Giorgio Tavecchio on for the field goal. A 24-yard attempt.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all.